For those that don't know, I thank Mr. and Mrs. Whalen, that's Frank and Steve, for teaching me the Frank and Steve plan. Okay. That Frank and Steve plan eventually translated into a cottage in Long Point. Yeah, thanks. My parents aren't here, but I thank them immensely for the work ethic they instilled in me. But most importantly, I want to thank Frenchie. You're the one person that was the greatest influence on me. When I needed correction, you were there. When I needed an attitude adjustment, you were there. And when I needed someone to just be there and be around and allow me to do my job with the latitude I needed, without any encumbrance, you were there. You're the best, Frenchie. I'm glad it only took Steve to nudge you a little bit and say, Frenchie, all you have to do is say, I will.
I do.
We were at a Christmas party. I will, I do. We were at a Christmas party, and Steve just walks up to Frenchie and he says, what the hell are you waiting for?
That was our first date. That was our first date. That was our first date.
What are you waiting for? But she is a trooper. And I have to laugh because, you know, we now know she's celebrating her 50th this evening. And when Lisette sent out that kind invitation that, I got the invitation, and I missed all the other stuff in between. And it was addressed to the house, like most of the Federated invitations. It came in to Joe and Natalie Eterno. So I'm at work, and all of a sudden I got this text saying something along the line of, I guess I know how I'm spending my 50th in Winnipeg. I wasn't really planning on doing that. But I think you've enjoyed your time here, and a special thanks go out to the Hurlins and the Phillips Hurlins. Thank you so much for hosting us these last couple days. We really appreciate the hospitality and the friendship. Lastly, and it's sort of where my conviction comes from, I just want to thank God for blessing me and my family abundantly. It's not coincidence that I read a small ad in the London Free Press 25 years ago. It's not coincidence that I'm part of this family at Club Fed. I mean, oftentimes we talk about Club Fed and people laugh because they think, oh, it's an easy place to work. No, it's a great place to work. And it has been, and that speaks to the leadership that we had over the years. How you made us feel like we were a part of something other than a place to go to work. And it's not coincidence that I've made such great friends over the years at Federated. So thank you to all of you that have been at any part of my career here at Federated. And in keeping with that, you know, there's three things I've tried to live by, and trust me, it isn't easy. And again, this speaks to my faith, and it's expect God's favor in your life, recognize God's favor in your life, and thank God for his favor daily. And when I've strayed, Frenchie's been there to push me along and nudge me and remind me that, you know, as much as things seem bad, you know, you have life in your hand. Like, you have a perfect workplace, you have a perfect family, and life is pretty good. And I'm just gonna sort of finish off this speech tonight speaking about my true passion, and Wayne spoke to that. And it's interesting how my passion of riding and riding a Harley kind of crossed and with this juncture in life. And again, for those that don't know me, I have a Harley. I've been riding for about 20 years now. And I'm taking a lot of heat this week about a ride I'm going on in a couple weeks. But while visiting with one of my insureds a couple weeks ago, I'd forgotten he rode. And he said, we started talking, and he said, so have you been riding much this summer? And I said, oh, not really. And I told him about a ride. We went around Lake Erie, and my motorbike broke down, and it turns out the oil pump went on the bike. But during that discussion, I don't even know how we got to it, but he came up, he says, so what kind of tattoo do you have? I thought it was kind of weird. I said, well, I don't have a tattoo. I said, but you know, it's interesting you'd ask me that, because a lot of people ask me that. I said, my one brother's got a tattoo. He's got a diabetic tattoo on his arm. My other brother's got a Canadian leaf and some other things to do with his daughters on his chest. I said to him, well, what do you got? He goes, oh, I got a Harley tattoo, and I got some other stuff. He says, I got a couple. And so he says, well, are you ever going to get one? I said, well, I don't really think so. I've never really thought about it. It's not one of those things I've ever wanted in life. It's just nothing ever grabbed me. And so, you know, I walked away from that, and I started thinking, well, what the hell would I ever get if I got a tattoo? And so my first thought was, you know, love you, Mom. Nah, that wasn't going there. Something, you know, artistic, that kind of incorporated the kids. I am artsy, and I thought, oh, I wonder if I could come up. No, not really, that's not doing it. Then I thought, well, maybe a hot pick, a Frenchie, you know, tattooed on my back, on my bike. No, that's not gonna happen. And then I thought, well, I don't want to get a Harley Davidson bar and shield, because like that's just, it's kind of like part of the costume that, you know, a lot of Harley guys get a bad rap for. And I thought, no, I can't do that either. Everyone's got one of those. But what I decided after some time is I sat back and I kind of thought about it for a little while, and it's kind of it symbolizes everyone here today at Federated, and I just need to take a And one thing I want to do, sorry Frenchie, I never showed you, but
do we have to turn the music? Does the music have to come back on?
Yeah, it's okay. I made sure when I had it done, where it was appropriate, and everyone could enjoy it and appreciate this. So rather than the Harley Bar and Shield, I went along with the Federated Bar and Shield. I got that little bit of hat taken off now. On that note, it's been a great 25 years. Thank you very much.
That's well done. Thank you, Bill. That's actually a weed patch. Weed my lips. Thank you. You know, geez, Joe, like what do you say there about retired and working in Walmart with gray hair? I guess I'm showing up tomorrow. I guess I'm there. Okay.
I already got us a job.
Yeah, boy, I'm sure ahead of it. I like to refer to it as Arctic Blonde. All righty, so here we are, ready to